He might be a Hall of Famer. He might be one of the best NFL analysts in America, but he was not able to beat Jay Chandler and Darien in the high school championship game. Steve Young joining us on the program. Hi, Steve.
Beautiful, Dan. Thank you. Yeah. In fact, all Greenwich High School, all the passing records are my brother's. So, yeah, just to add a little bit more ignominy. Is that right? Ignominy? Ignominy. Whatever.
What happened? I mean, Jay Chandler went out to Princeton, notable career in finance.
Dan, it's a question that I wasn't ready for. I think that the blue wave of Darien just outclassed us that day. I don't know what else to say. I don't know what else to say.
Which town is richer, Greenwich or Darien?
Hey, look, man, I've told you 1,000 times. I grew up in the mean streets of Greenwich. And I battled my way out of there. Do not try to change my narrative.
Oh, you had tattered Vineyard Vine shirts, didn't you? Yeah.
People, I played with my team. I played with a lot of guys, from all over the country, and they're like, "Where are you from?" Greenwich, Connecticut. Well, what's that like, man? It's tough. I try to play it up because if they ever found out, man, I'd be in trouble.
All right, let's handicap this. If you had to pick between, I'm going to leave the Niners out of this. Seahawks and Rams, they have the two best odds to win the Super Bowl. Who would you pick right now?
Well, watching the Seahawks the other day, I think just I don't know, just how they're playing right this second. It felt like the Seahawks were built defensively to they're just vicious. And then the way they're running the football in bad weather, and as long as, look, to me, as long as Sam doesn't turn it over, which has been a huge problem this year, they're going to be just fine. I mean, that'd be a heck of a game right now. I'm going to be honest with you. Look, Matthew Stafford is abusing the system today. I mean, we've talked about this before. He grew up in a more sophisticated era. He is just, everybody's open in his mind, like everything's just, and then, Puka's doing his, I mean, it'd be a great game. And it's unfortunate it won't be a Super Bowl because, of course, they're both the NFC. But right now, both are playing really well.
I did think about this with Myles Garrett setting the single-season sack record of LT and Reggie White are probably considered the two greatest defensive players of all time. Would you say that?
I would say yes to that. And I would say Reggie was unique. Both of them were unique, but you had to meet Reggie to know that he was 6'6", 3. His football card said 290, which tells me that he was 400. Like, you're a liar. But he was all of it. Like he should have played quarterback. I mean, he's just that great of an athlete. Not to take anything away from LT, but you had to meet Reggie. You had to play against him. You had to hear him, screaming as he snapped the ball, said, and then you hear him yell, and then here he comes. He's throwing people out of the way, and then there he was. So
is he the greatest defensive player of all time? Like, people want to put Myles Garrett in that conversation, and I want to be fair to Myles as well. But Reggie, to me, was, and Mean Joe Green was probably in there as well. I know that was before you were playing, but
right.
LT changed the game.
Did LT? Well. I mean, LT was all of that. So we can talk about LT for 5 minutes if you want to as well. But I saw Reggie so much. He was just one of a kind, and LT was as well. But Myles is. Look, the problem with Myles is he plays for the Cleveland Browns, and no one gets to really appreciate how singular he is, and especially in this time of year. I mean, Reggie and LT made a lot of their money and a lot of their reputation in January, February. And that's the game, right? That's where you really do make your reputation. So that's what's, I even talking about Myles, like I want to see him play next week. I want to see him when just it's all on the line, and there he is. So that's the only difference it feels like.
How much do you hear these guys. You said you could hear Reggie White, but I'm thinking you got tunnel vision and tunnel hearing. But
Yeah,
there were certain
I
guys
mean,
you could hear?
nah, yeah, it's pretty. You're right. It's like a lot of white noise behind you. You know, like even the crowd feels like it's just mine. You know, it's a faceless orb kind of thing. Like I just, to me, you're right. But Reggie was unique because look, all week long, Wednesday morning, it was like, okay, we play the Packers, we play the Eagles, and Reggie White from Tennessee, 6'6", 340, and yeah, you can't block him. And what are we gonna do? And okay, we'll get 6 guys, and we'll just surround him, you know. And then what about the others? Don't worry about these guys. We just take Reggie. And so then you talk about it all week, right? And the linemen are all getting fired up. And then and so because of that, he was always focused on, and then he was screaming about it. He had a voice like I can't even make a voice like his. Like you can't go that deep, you
Yeah.
know. Gee, how you doing? You know, and so you could hear him. He was screaming, and then you could hear him coming. Then he was there, and you know, you. I always make fun of it, but it is kind of funny. Like you drop back and you're like, oh, here he is. You know, it was great. He was a friend. We didn't see each other very often. He had a chance to talk. We were great friends when we come out of college together. My dad helped him find an agent, and we were kind of got very close. And so all the time we played, he didn't give me an inch. He was coming for it. But then as soon as he got me, he'd hold me, fall back, and he's like, "Steve, how you doing?" I'm like, "Bro, I'm not doing very good right now. Are your parents here tonight?" I'm like, "Reggie, I don't want to talk to you right now."
We're talking to the Hall of Famer, Steve Young. The Raiders have just fired Pete Carroll. What do they expect?
Well, Pete, you know, listen, Pete's an organized guy. Pete is an inspired, you know, he's an inspiration. I think uh, you in today's game, you look at the playoffs. It is Sean Payton, Sean McVay, Kyle Shanahan, and Andy Reid, and any from the fruit of those coaching trees is dominating the NFL today, offensively. And you know, offensively is the game. They keep changing the rules against defense. Defense is important. There's no question. I mean, there's some great defenses out there, despite it all. But the game is dominated by innovative young offensive minds. And so, you know, I love Pete. Pete's one of my favorite guys, favorite coaches. And I don't think I still think he could do it, but he's got to get that help around him that responds to what's happening right now today. And then you got to have the talent, and you have no look. We keep. I always say, Dan, there's equity owners in the NFL. They're untouchable because they're the equity owners. Like you can't. They're the most fireable people in America are the quarterback, number one, the coach, number two, and the general manager, number three. And the guy that cannot be fired is the guy that's the most impactful, is the owner. And I think you know you got to get that straightened out too, because you keep going around in a carousel. Look at the Jets. Look at the teams that just keep going around in a carousel of failure. They have to look at themselves at some point.
The Browns fired Kevin Stefanski. I'm wondering if you're a coach, you're going into a situation where do you know if you have a quarterback? Did you get enough of a sample size with Shedeur Sanders where you're not going to take the job because of Shedeur, but are you walking into a situation where you might be playing Shedeur Sanders?
Yeah, and that's it's tough right now because it's a developmental project, and he is a project, and he's got a lot of talent. So, and you don't know how projects are always going to turn out. Look at Drake May. They took that's a project, but that's not a project anymore. And and so that's the tough spot. Like I just said, if you're a young, innovative mind coming from one of those coaching trees that's figured it out, it's felt it, it's seen it, and then you have someone who can play. Look what happened in Chicago. Look what happened in Jacksonville. Look what happened even in Carolina a little bit. I mean, it's better than it was. You're in a pretty good spot. But if you've got someone new that is unproven, you really don't have a chance unless you have. Look at the playoffs again. Look at this weekend and look at the guys that are leading it and the dynamic. And Shedeur has that dynamic play in him, but he needs innovative minds to come teach him and take out the full measure of who he is. Right now, we just don't know what that is.
73 games were decided by 3 points or less this season. That's tied for the second most in NFL history. Is that a good thing?
Yeah, league loves it. That's what they want.
Well, I
They
know the
want-
league loves it because they want parity. They want a team like Carolina to make the play. They want everybody to have hope.
Yeah.
And their games are always close. They want
Well,
that.
And again, in the name of safety, we've changed the game. And I think it probably has been. They responded to they were afraid that someone was going to die on the field if people keep launching their bodies as missiles into each other. And so they changed the game, slowed it down. And despite the speed and the athleticism, it's just a more wide open game. And I've said this since they've made the changes. It's like the NBA more and more. Even it gets more and more like that. Look at the Pittsburgh Baltimore game last night. Like it's the big names in the game, the closers with a minute and a half or 2 minutes left, and now it's like, oh, it's on, and then down the field, score. That wasn't the way the game was before. You had a 10-point lead in the fourth quarter, you kind of locked it up. Now it's like it's just, and it's like the NBA. If you have a closer, you got a chance, and you're better than none. So the fact that more games are finishing at 3 points, that's kind of where the game is today. It's wide open, it's wild, it's awesome. Anyone before, any of us older guys are like, dang, man. I've said this to you many times. Like, I want to.
Okay, wait, did you say that you could play in the NFL now recently?
If it was Hunger Games and it was like, you have to go out there or you're dead, you die. You know, I could throw a screen, I could throw a, I mean, stop with this. I'm gonna, but yeah, I could still throw it around a little bit. I mean, it's not feel like, oh, I've been getting killed on that. Like, no, suit me up. I'm not ready to go get. But if it was that or die.
Okay, if I had a draft of quarterbacks over the age of 55, are you going number one?
Yeah, I'm telling you, Dan. Sound like a nutcase. Where are you going with it? I feel like crazy, man.
I know.
Yeah. I am in the supplemental draft. I'm number one.
Brett Favre is 56. Do you think you're a better quarterback now than Favre is?
I don't know. How's his arm? I mean, he's like,
you've seen those in the backyard. He's killing people.
Yeah, he's still ripping it
and
around.
He's throwing to Jerry Rice, your guy.
But I can still.
He took Jerry Rice from you.
Yeah, I can still skate.
You need Copperfit is what you need.
Slow motion escape.
Any problem with
That's a good one.
any problem with Troy Aikman helping the Dolphins find a head coach?
You've heard me complain about this. How football's dumb. That we don't take. I mean, we as players, we used to watch the draft and watch our team draft and go, and then we go to the first mini camp and we look around and in 15 minutes everyone's like, oh, he sucks. And it's like, well, how is it that we know that? How is it that we they have scouting deep bench of scouts throughout the year going all over the country, sifting through everything, and you don't draw on the guys?
Wait, you could tell in 15 minutes when you first saw a draft pick.
Okay, I might be conflating it slightly.
Okay.
But the idea is true.
You knew Jerry Rice was going to be great the first 15 minutes you saw him.
You saw that everyone can see the potential. Everyone has got to go prove it. We get that. It's the NFL.
Okay.
But you can just tell the guy loves the game, has the aptitude for it, has got that talent, got that all the intangibles that we play it with, things that you can't even explain. And the idea that we don't draw on that feels crazy to me. And why aren't we have? And then look, not every guy on the team had that sensibility, but there's always a handful of guys that you'd want to have in the room.
Why aren't you a team president?
I don't know. I ran from the game. I don't know. I just that's what Roger Staubach told me to do. He said, "I know, Roger. What's the advice for transition?" He goes, "Run." I go, run where? He goes, just run away. The game will never leave you, but you got to leave it. And
Would you like to be involved in an organization?
I think everybody who played probably has a sense that they could be helpful.
Have the Niners reach out
If
to
you
you?
could run it, and if you could run it, like John Lynch, my good buddy, is running the 49ers. Why are there's a spirit to it. Like the 49ers are back in the playoffs again. The last 8 years since they were there, think of the record: Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch. And it's not everybody who played is successful at that job. But you asked me about Troy Aikman helping the Miami Dolphins. I'm like, yeah, that can't be a bad idea.
Troy is 59. Are you a better
Yes,
quarterback?
I can outrun him. I can spin out and make a play. Throw the come on, man, come on.
Are you a better quarterback than Marino?
When I went to it was my senior year, I went to a recruiter trip to Army, West Point, and they played Pitt. Freshman quarterback Dan Marino threw a laser about 40 yards right in front of me. I was a senior in high school. I'm like, holy crap! This is what college is like. I'm finished. I'm finished.
And Marino's he didn't move when he played, so he's going to be standing back. He's 64. Marino could probably still direct a 2-minute drill.
Yeah. Wouldn't that be funny? It's like it's something to be all old guy. That's amazing.
I like it. I didn't even throw Montana in there.
Yeah. Well, look, to me, the game, that's what happens with the changes in the game. When Tom Brady told me 4 or 5 years ago when he was at Tampa, we were on the field before the game, and he goes, Steve, the game is amazing, right? It's changed so much. Like the flats are always open. The middle of the field is unpatrolled, and no one can hit me. So the fact that anyone that's ever played before would say, oh, put me in, and so that's just a natural thing. It's not like we're like, get off my lawn kind of old guy. Like, it's just like you see the game today, and you see the game that I played and the game that's being played today, and all the guys in the playoffs this year, they have to run around. It's normal. It's not an oddity. It's a beautiful thing. Like you're better than ever. If you're, used to be you're a scrambler. I can't stand you. You run around. Now, like, it all came. It's like I'm missed it by 20 years, man.
Roger Staubach is 83.
He can still do it. Yeah.
Good to talk to you. Once again, not a better high school player apparently than Jay Chandler, but
Jay Chandler right now somewhere calling all his buddies. Like, I knew I always needed to get my time, my moment.
The blue wave of Darien dominated you. Wow.
Yeah. Greenwich High School, state champs again this year. State champs again. So I'm just going to spin it back on top of you, Dan.
Thank you, Steve.
See you, buddy.
Steve Young, Hall of Famer. I didn't think we were going to get into best quarterbacks over the age of 55.
Good bet.
Oh, that was good.